Mm-hmm. Oh, there goes Samuel. Miss A, do me a favor, write to my friend Samuel so he knows what to do. All right. We are live. Hello. All right, all right, all right. Welcome, everyone. So happy to have everybody here. If you are here and you are watching live from YouTube or Facebook, we welcome you. I'm just trying to get my screens together. Our friends here in New York are getting prepared for their state exams. And so some students are opting out and some students will be taking them this week and next week. And so we just want to do our part with helping uh, the way that we can in support of our friends in knowing how to answer questions, think thoroughly through text, as well as uh, create written responses that reflects their comprehension, right? And we know that this school year's exams are slightly different from the past. There is a huge focus on multiple choice questions, but for us, we like to prepare students regardless of that. You know, this year may have been thrown off, but there are specific skills that students need to know, learn, and be able to do on their academic journey. So we are here for it. I am Ms. Robinson, the founder of Reading for Smiles, and we are so delighted to be able to share this class with you. And so I'm getting my screen together. My friends who are in the Zoom room are already ready. And I am going to make sure that if you are watching this from YouTube or Facebook, we won't be able to see your responses, but your child can go along with answering the questions just to see if they are even correct, right? And to hear some of those responses. And then this one is a little different from our story time or anything else that we're doing because this is our paired passages unit. Courtesy of the teacher created resources, we've been able to take things and make it in the digital format so that our friends can still go through the exercises and gain practice. So let's begin. And hold on for me 1 second. All right, you are now entering the R4S gallery. Welcome to the gallery. Before we begin, please have your notebook and pencil, which I believe many of my friends do. But Miss A, can we just get 30 seconds on the clock to make sure and to give our friends who may be streaming with us enough time as well to go ahead?
No problem. Okay, 30 seconds. Let's go. Start now.
In this time, I will be making sure that we are streaming effectively in our other locations.
Okay, 5 seconds left.
Okay.
Start now.
And I am sharing it. All right. Thank you for the 30 seconds, our friends. We are officially getting ready to begin. Just making sure. So, as I'm doing this, I just want to remind my friends that are taking the exam One thing is to please read thoroughly, read the passages at least 2 times. I actually usually tell you, if you're in the boot camp and everything else, 3 times, right? One, to read it to get an understanding. Two, to specifically know it. Three, to use it as a support to find the details to answer those questions that you are doing. You can never be wrong in double checking yourself and double checking your work. Questions that are double loaded, which is like 2-part questions or 3-part questions, you want to make sure you're answering part each part. Now, again, that is really something specifically for those short responses or extended responses. But a lot of times, all of my friends always just jump forward and skip a part. And skipping a part helps you lose points. And so I don't want you to do that. Miss A doesn't want you to do that. And so we want to make sure that all of our friends know exactly what they need to do. That is just super, super important. Read it 3 times. Read it once to get an understanding of what the story is about, right? To know the story. Your second time is to confirm that. And the third time is to be able to double check and say, oh, I know specifically the story said this. We are looking at comprehension here, folks. So I definitely want everyone to feel comfortable and confident in what they have going on. All right, so I think I took care of what I could. I'll just keep trying to post it around as much as I possibly can. And let's go. All right, so today's agenda, we will read 2 passages, to the egress and to the Cyclops. We will answer questions related to both texts. Our goal is to look at both stories closely and depict their similarities and differences. Okay. Story 1, to the egress. Miss A, do you mind? Can you read this for me? You do story 1 and you do story 1, I'll do story 2.
Okay. All right, to the egress. P.T. Barnum wanted the crowds to come to his museum. When more people paid to enter his museum, Barnum made more money. Barnum wanted the crowds to enter, but he didn't want them staying and lingering. He wanted people to exit so quickly so he could admit even more people. Barnum was born in Bethel, Connecticut on July 5th, 1810. He ran the American Museum in New York between 1842 and 1858. Many of the exhibits in Barnum's museum were strange and freakish. Other exhibits were simply fake, and Barnum never bothered to pretend otherwise. He even called himself Prince of the Humbug. One would think that no one would be interested in seeing fake exhibits, but Barnum was a master showman. He had a way of convincing people that they needed to see what he had to offer. When Barnum wanted to move crowds more quickly through his museum, he would simply hang up a sign that said, "To the egress." People would go in the direction of the sign. They would go through a door expecting to see yet another strange or weird exhibit. Instead, they found themselves back on the street. The door was an exit door. If the people wanted to see more of the museum, they had to pay again to re-enter. People may have felt Barnum's sign was deceitful, but in fact, it was truthful. The word egress means a going out or a way to go out. It means an exit.
All right, thank you, Miss A. And so now we have story 2, to the Cyclops. Come on, Zenon. We have to hurry so we can go through the museum before it closes. I really want to see the new exhibit. It's a real Cyclops. Imagine a one-eyed beast. Who would have ever thought such a strange and peculiar creature could ever exist in this universe? Zenon looked down at his little sister, Argon. Don't worry, he reassured her. We will make it in time. As they took the air tram to the museum, Zenon said, You do know, Argon, that the Cyclops may not be real. After all, Mr. Noble, the museum curator, is not known for his honesty. Some say he's nothing but an enormous gas bag with nothing solid about him. Redon has already seen the Cyclops exhibit. He says there's nothing deceitful about it. In fact, he's going to try to meet us there because he says it's worth seeing multiple times. When Argon and Xenon finally viewed Cyclops, they were so astonished that they were momentarily speechless. Never had they such been seen a bizarre and peculiar creature. How do you think it sees what is happening behind it? Whispered Argon to Xenon. Any predator could sneak up on it from behind. Just then, Xenon said, speaking of looking behind you, isn't that your friend Radon? Still staring straight ahead at the Cyclops in amazement, Argon spotted Radon behind her. Imagine, she said to Radon as he drew near, having only one eye instead of six. All right, so before we go to the questions, I want us to go back to the first story and reread it again. And this time, I want you guys to pay close attention to what happens in story 1, and then I will read again what happens in story 2. Okay, out of all fairness. All right, so let me go back. Oops. Uh-oh, Miss Robinson's on the wrong screen. All right, Miss A, go ahead.
To the egress. P.T. Barnum wanted the crowds to come to his museum. When more people paid to enter his museum, Barnum made more money. Barnum wanted the crowds to enter, but he didn't want them staying and lingering. He wanted people to exit so quickly so he could admit even more people. Barnum was born in Bethel, Connecticut on July 5, 1810. He ran the American Museum in New York between 1842 and 1858. Many of the exhibits in Barnum's museum were strange and freakish. Other exhibits were simply fakes, and Barnum never bothered to pretend otherwise. He even called himself Prince of the Humbugs. One would think that no one would be interested in seeing fake exhibits, but Barnum was a master showman. He had a way of convincing people that they needed to see what he had to offer. When Barnum wanted to move crowds more quickly through his museum, he would simply hang up a sign that said, "To the egress." People would go in the direction of the sign. They would go through a door expecting to see yet another strange or weird exhibit. Instead, they found themselves back on the street. The door was an exit door. If the people wanted to see more of the museum, they had to pay again to re-enter. People may have felt Barnum's sign was deceitful, but in fact, it was truthful. The word egress means a going out or a way to go out. It means an exit.
Oops, I was talking all this time. Now that is funny. You guys have just now heard story 1. I hope that you were taking a few notes. Let's prepare ourselves now for story 2 and be able to take notes then. Okay, I want you to follow along, but write down some key things so that you can answer the questions next. All right, story 2, the Cyclops. Come on, Xenon. We have to hurry so we can go through the museum before it closes. I really want to see the new exhibit. It's a real Cyclops. Imagine a one-eyed beast. Who would ever thought such a strange and peculiar creature could ever exist in this universe? Xenon looked down at his little sister Argon. Don't worry, he reassured her. We'll make it in time. As they took the air tram to the museum, Xenon said, You do know, Argon, that the Cyclops may not be real. After all, Mr. Noble, the museum curator, is not known for his honesty. Some say he's nothing but an enormous gas bag with nothing solid about him. Radon has already seen the Cyclops exhibit. He says there's nothing deceitful about it. In fact, he's going to try to meet us there before he says it's worth seeing multiple times. When Argon and Zenon finally viewed Cyclops, they were so astonished that they were momentarily speechless. Never had they seen such a bizarre and peculiar creature. How do you think it sees what is happening behind it? Whispered Argon to Zenon. Any predator could sneak up on it from behind. Just then, Zenon said, "Speaking of looking behind you, isn't that your friend Radon?" Still staring straight ahead at the Cyclops in amazement, Argon spotted Rhydon behind her. "Imagine," she said to Radon as he drew near, "having only one eye instead of six." All right. I hope everyone was paying attention and got the gist of both stories. Let's get into the questions. And as we say, question time. All right. If one lingers, friends, get ready. Those of you who are inside the Zoom room, those of you who are at home watching from YouTube or Facebook, you can just write your answers down on paper to see if you are correct. Those of you in the Zoom room, please send your answers to us and we will see who is correct. You can set your answers to me or to Miss A. Just make sure it's not on everyone, okay? If one lingers, one exits, one stays, one egresses, or one re-enters. A, B, C, or D. A, B, C, or D. Oh, wow. Look at the answers are already coming in. Already coming in. And people are in agreement. I am going, you know what, Miss A, let's put 20 seconds on a clock for all the few next multiple choice questions. What answer do you believe that it is? What do we have going on? All right. Oh, I see a different answer. If one lingers, I'll give you 5 more seconds. All right. Music is off. Let's see what the answer. Let's see who's correct. It is B. If one lingers, that means one stays. One stays. Good job to those who chose B. Argan was able to spot Raiden because A, she had more than one eye, B, she turned her head to look, C, she stared straight at the Cyclops, or D, she had eyes both in front and in back. Miss A, can we get 20 seconds on the clock?
All right, 20 seconds.
All right. That was the buzzer. I'm seeing different answers. Quanate, which answer represents which one of you? Because I can't see.
I said C.
And so that means Qua said B. All right. Samuel's okay. All right. I do have everyone's answers. Let's see what the real answer is. It is D. She had eyes both in front and in back. We had to look at a little couple context clues for that.
What?
Yes. No one got this one right, but everyone was, I get why everyone said the answer that they said. I'll put it that way. But no, she had eyes in both in front and in back. She was unique herself. How about that?
Wait, she has 4 eyes then. And why she's talking about 6 eyes?
Question. I'll go back in a second. What do both stories have in common? Honest museum curators, deceitful museum signs, museums with strange exhibits, or museum creatures with 6 eyes? Miss A, let's get 20 seconds on the clock. Oh, look at the answers are already pouring in. We might not even need the full 20 seconds. Just in time. All right, so we got a lot of C's and then I seen an A. Let's see what we got. It is definitely Z, museums with strange exhibits. Both these stories had some strange exhibits, right? Just think back to what we read. Most likely, Barnum would A, only want a cyclops if it was real, B, pretend that a cyclops was a predator, C, exhibit a cyclops if it was brought in crowds, or D, say there was nothing deceitful about a cyclops. What is your answer? Think this through. You have 2 seconds on the clock.
Time is up.
All right. So, oh my God, I got A's, I got C's. Which answer is it? It is C. C. Good job to those of you who chose C. It's a Barnum would exhibit a cyclops if it brought in crowds. Good job. Next question. If Zenon called Mr. Noble Prince of Humbugs, Zenon would mean that A, Mr. Noble is made of nothing but gas. B, Mr. Noble has a to the egress sign. C, Mr. Noble has something solid about him. Or D, Mr. Noble's museum might have A, B, C, or D. Read through that. Think that through. Time starts now.
Time is up.
All right. Where's those answers, my friends? Or are people stuck?
I
All
was
right.
still thinking.
You were still thinking. That's okay. Take your best guess. Kwame, does that represent both of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, Hugh. All right. So we definitely got some different answers out here. We got an A, we got a B, and we got some D's. Let's see what the correct answer is. It is D. Mr. Noble's museum might have fake exhibits. Prince of Humbugs. Humbug, meaning like, oh my God, this guy's a character. He's such a joke. There's nothing real about him. He is a joker, a pranker, humbug. Bah. Fake exhibits. Okay, my friends? All right. Great job to everyone. Now, part 2 of the questions. This part gets a little tough. I need you guys to take a few minutes and fill in the blanks. What did Barnum want? What did Barnum hang up? When did Barnum hang up a sign? Where did Barnum hang up the sign? And why did Barnum's trick work? We are going to give you guys about 5 minutes to answer these questions. Answer these questions. You can send me all your answers at once, But I want everyone to think these through, or actually work on your answers, and then I'll tell you guys when to submit question A, question B, question C, question D. I think that might be easier. Work on your answers. Miss A, let's get 5 minutes on the clock.
Yep, 5 minutes.
Do you think I should re-show the story really quickly before my friends answer these questions, where they get like 30 seconds per slide?
Um, do we, I guess, an alternative. Do we want to be as realistic as possible? But they would have. I guess,
I think we can help them up a little bit.
yeah.
All right, so do me a favor, put 30 seconds on the slide. You or 45 seconds. Let's do 45. You guys, we are going to go to each slide for 45 seconds. You need to skim read, pull out what you can, take a quick jot. Maybe you want to write these questions down. Should we let them write the questions down first, then do the slides? So they know what they're looking for.
Okay.
Let's do. We're gonna give you guys 2.5 minutes right now to write these questions down. Give yourself enough space to put the answer underneath it. So space these questions out, but write them down. We'll give you 2.5 minutes now to write these questions down. And then we'll give you 45 seconds per slide of each story. I think that'll be fair. All right. You got 2.5 minutes on the clock?
Yep.
All right. Zoe, we are writing down the questions, giving ourselves enough space to write an answer underneath it. Okay? We're writing all 4 questions down. Go ahead. All right.
The time is up.
All right. Miss A, yes, that's exactly who that was. But I never had any problems. Not thus far. All right, you guys. So I'm going to go back to the story. All right. Let me.
It showed the answer when you went back. Like when you were going, it showed the answer to number 2. So
Did it really? Then
it
do you
did.
remember? Do you remember what it said though?
Yes.
Oh. And then you. All right. So then we know. You did not get that answer on your own. All right. Can we get 45 seconds on the clock, Miss A?
Yep, 45 seconds already on the clock.
All right. Also, my friends, please make sure you are using proper grammar when you're typing out these answers to us. Punctuation and capitalization matters. When the buzzer goes off, I will go to the next page.
time is up.
All right. Yes. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to try to flip forward to some of these questions. I think it was in room H. Yes. Okay. So here we go. Now let's give another. You guys have been given time to write down the questions, given time to go back through the story, and now I want to give you time to make sure I can answer these questions correctly. Miss A, let's give another. Let's make it 3 minutes flat.
Okay. Okay.
You ready?
Mhm. Yep. Time's up.
All right. Miss A said the time is up. Zoe and Hugh, I still need all of your answers. I do see everyone else put them in a paragraph form, so I got it. But you guys are who I still need to see. Those of you who are watching from Facebook or from YouTube, I want you guys to take a minute and look through your answers. What did Barnum want? When did Barnum hang up a sign? Where did Barnum hang up the sign? And why did Barnum's trick work? All right. Hugh, you got the rest of those answers? All right. let's start with the first one. What did Barnum want? He wanted crowds to come to his museum. So I see, I'm going through the answers. Just give me a second. I know a few of you guys. Okay, I see the more crowds, more money part. Okay. All right. Majority of you guys got that right. Actually, I think everyone did. Zoe, we need your answer, Zoe. You were the only person who I didn't see. I see everybody else. Well, I already have answer A up there, but I need questions B, C, and D. B, C, and D. Put them in. All right. Zoe, what's your answer for question B?
I didn't really have an answer for it. I didn't really understand that question.
They want to know, when did he hang up the sign? Work on your answer. Oh, sorry, guys. Forgive me for that. I don't know. All right. I'm looking through these answers. Let's see. All right. Some of you, like, you're there. Okay. I think Hugh has the best answer so far. Hugh, go ahead. Please share your answer with everybody.
For the second question?
Yes.
Barnum put up the sign when he wanted the crowds to move quicker.
Okay. And some of my other friends, they kind of said something very similar to you. Let's see what the correct answer is. He wanted to get people to exit the museum. And so let me see. I don't know how someone he made a museum. Yeah, nope. Nope. Yeah, that was probably the closest. But he wanted to, when he wanted to get people to exit the museum, that's when he decided that he was going to hang up the sign. I feel like somebody else might have been super close. I'm just scouring back through the answers because, yeah. Let me look. Okay, yes, Qua and Nate were actually correct too. When he wanted people to go, he hung it up. Yeah. So Kwame and Nate actually were also they actually did state it. I had to go back through the chat. All right, question C. Where did Barnum hang up the sign? Where did Barnum hang up the sign? Zoe, continue working on your answers, please. Let me go back to looking through everyone's answers again. Yeah, okay. I see that answer. Yeah. Okay, let me look at somebody else's answer. No. All right, Kwame and Nate, go ahead and share your answer. For letter C.
He hung it up at the back.
He hung it up in the back. Okay. Let's see. And I see, thank you, Zoe. And now Samuel's adding extra. You guys are so funny. He placed it on a door leading to the street. They're looking for specifics. He placed it on a door leading to the street. Is it in the hallway? Yes. Is it in the back? Yes. All of those things are close, but we want to get you guys really clear. He placed it on a door leading to the street. Let's look at the last question. Why did Barnum's trick work? Let me see. Samuel, why did his trick work?
His trick worked because people thought it was meant another freaky or strange place or weird exhibit, but it really meant the exit or the way out.
Okay. And then now let me see someone that I'm trying to get through. Uh Qua and Nate.
His trick worked because people thought the Egress was a strange creature like the other fake things.
Okay. Zoe, go ahead and you share your answer.
I only had answers for A and C.
Can you say it again?
I only had answers for A and C.
Actually, you don't. Your answer that you sent to me was really towards D.
Should I read it out?
Yeah, you can read it out, definitely. I mean, you kind of gave me like a combination of stuff going on here, but go ahead, read it out.
Mine pinned up the sign to make people think there was another exhibit, but actually it led to the street. So people would have to re-enter and pay.
Okay. All right. So there is a small part of that Zoe said that is why Barnum's trick worked. Let's look at it. People didn't know what the word egress meant. Now, Kwame and Nate actually said that in their answer about thinking that it was another exhibit and people didn't know what the word meant. But then, if we look back at the story, the reason why it's a funny trick is because egress does mean to leave. It's an exit, right? But if you don't have if you don't know the definition or a vast vocabulary of words, this is where you can get confused, right? So you're going to follow along without actually knowing the meaning to it. So we want to know. And so this is why the trick worked, because people didn't realize that egress meant exit. If they knew the meaning of the word, then they would not have walked through that way. Got it, everybody? If you got to put a G in the chat box, those of you who are following along on YouTube and Facebook, how did you do on your answers? I hope that you have done well, or that you were able to at least get a couple of this. All right, so some of our friends, we got to fine tune our answers, but good job for the most part. Let's keep going. Write down the names of the characters mentioned in To the Cyclops. Fill in the information to determine each character. And so here we have Cyclops, but you need to give us the information. Then for number 4, we have the museum curator, but you need to give us the name. And so list out everybody. Think about list as many as you can. This one is a challenge. Definitely. You're gonna list out the different characters in the name. And then you're going to give us a little bit of information about them, whatever you can recall. Okay? And so that's how we'll do this. Miss A, let us get about 4 minutes on the clock, maybe 4.5. All right, Kwame and Nate, thank you. I'm seeing your answers coming through already.
You said 4 minutes, correct?
Yes, 4 minutes.
Okay. Yep, 4 minutes on the clock.
Try your best to remember. This one is a tough one. I'm actually almost feeling like, should I do a quick back to the story thing? I don't know, Miss A, how do you feel? If I do it, we're not doing 45 seconds per screen though.
No, back to the story.
You
Let
said
us,
you said don't. Oh, Samuel, you said don't do it.
yeah, don't do it. Let us remember.
Let us remember. All right, Samuel has spoken. I'm gonna roll with it.
Four
He's the
minutes
first
starts
one who
now.
pulled out. Who wanted to see it? You guys should have beat Samuel to the punch.
Mhm.
But these are okay because I took screenshots of the whole story. So.
Whoa! Wow! Did you say you took screenshots? You see what you guys are doing in this technology world? Oh my
Mm.
god! All right, now.
I'm on a Chromebook, so I can take screenshots.
Oh, look at you, fancy. All right, well, go ahead. Let's rock out. 4 minutes on the clock.
Wait, Hugh, you know how do you take screenshots?
Oh, wait for after. Wait for after.
All right. 4 minutes starts now.
Oh, this is about to be very interesting. What do you think about that, Miss A? Screenshots. That is so funny. Name those creatures or the names of characters.
Time's up.
Oh. Well, that answers my question. All right, you guys, the time is up. I'm seeing now the answers is coming through. Whoa. Okay. Look at these answers. All right. Some of you guys are in agreement. I'm trying to sort through this and get through it. All right, Samuel, I need the whole list. I do. I need the whole list. Those of you at home, try to see if you remember too. I'm gonna do the big reveal. Hugh, where's yours? Up. Uh-huh. Okay. And while you're doing that, Samuel, as I'm thinking about it too, so that last part of the story when they were like, they couldn't believe how like creatures only had like one eye and stuff like that. That was the hint to let us know that they did not just have one eye, right? They thought anybody with one eye or two eyes was just completely weird. Like, how do you live like that? How do you live without an eye behind your head? That was the clue in that story. So I wanted to make sure I said that to you before we started revealing the answers. And as I'm waiting for our fellow friends to drop those answers in the chat box.
What is a museum curator?
That is the person who leads the museum. They are able to explain the exhibits and stuff like that to you. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. You try to do it all together, not separately, honey. Not separately. Give me 4 and 5 together. All right. Zoe's looking pretty good out here with her answers. Zoe, go ahead and give us one character. Or actually, read us your list. We'll go it that way because all of her answers are together. Everyone else is kind of all sporadic.
I can barely say these names.
Try your best.
Extract, responsible big brother, Cyclops, one-eyed monster, Astrid,
Argon,
excited little sister, Mr. Noble, museum
curator,
runs to
Radon,
Argon's best friend.
All right. So she gave us the full story here. Let's see if she's correct. I'm going through everyone else's answers as well. I should have told you guys to also send them to Miss A, but I'm going to go through it. So let's look at it. You had Xenon, who she definitely said first. And this is Argon's older brother. She put big brother. Let me see through everybody else's answers. Everybody, okay, I got older brother. Hugh got older brother. Samuel, what did you put, Samuel? I can't see your answers anymore. Let's see. Okay, Kwame and Nate also had Zenom for the big brother. Samuel, where's your answers to me though? Oh, never mind. I see it. But you didn't put big brother. But you do have Zenon. So I would totally give half a point for having. You would get half points for the names and half point for the information. So even if you got the characters right, if you didn't get the information, I mean, obviously you want the full point. But at least you would get some credit for having the names correct. So I want people to think about that too, because a lot of the times in 3rd grade, 4th grade, and oftentimes 6th or 7th, they look for you to be able to announce exactly who was a character and what their relationships were. And then also something else that they do is looking at poems. Poetry often pops up in 4th or 5th grade, and then again in 7th or 8th. in the exam. So if you are in those grade levels, definitely pay attention to similes and metaphors inside the exam, as well as if it's talking about a character. There might even be some author's purpose or point of view questions for all of the grades too. So I just wanted to slide that in there really quickly. All right, let's go to Cyclops. He is the one-eyed creature. Everyone got that right, right? Go figure. Argon. Did everybody? Let's see. Argon. Kwame said they said it was the little sister. Samuel said it's the little sis. No, nope. Actually, that's Zoe who said that. Sorry.
Got the person, her name.
Yeah, you did. You said you had forgot her name, which was totally fine. That okay, everyone. Okay, I'm looking through the chat box. People did get that. People did get that. But it was Zenon's little sister. So just in case, a lot of you guys put younger sister, totally still worth half the credit because you know she was somebody's sister. All right, next one. Mr. Nolan was the museum curator. Zoe put Mr. Noble, but it's all good because she did know. She was so close. Let me see what else we got. Why did everybody call him Mr. Noble? That is funny. Maybe that's what you heard. His name is definitely Mr. Nolan. That is funny. A lot of people put that. That is so funny. All right.
Oh, it says that in the story. Oh, back and check. It says Mr. Noble.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. So I apologize. So it's an error on my half. See, even teachers make mistakes. So it's totally Mr. Noble. So yes, then all of you guys got it right. So then I was wrong, which is funny because I was sitting here trying to figure out why was everybody putting Mr. Noble. Oops, my bad. All right. And then Radon, the best friend, Argon's friend who has seen a Cyclops before. Da, 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 da. Everybody did get Radon.
I thought he saw the museum.
Yeah, but he saw the museum before.
Like the museum body of Cyclops. I didn't.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah. I'm looking at your answers too. Okay, Argon's friend. I'm just going through everybody else. Their friend. Okay. Yep. Okay. Now, I want you to quickly write 3 or more sentences that summarizes the story to the egress. And then if you're done and ahead of time, you're going to write a few sentences to summarize the Cyclops story. All right. So we are going to give you a few minutes to work that out. Let's get 5 minutes on the clock, Miss A.
All right, 5 minutes are on the clock.
Although, hold on, you guys. I don't want to skip ahead. No, never mind. I'm gonna stick to what we got. Because I do have something else for you guys to think about, do watch. All right, go ahead. 5 minutes on the clock.
5 minutes starts now.
Summarizing both stories to the egress and to the Cyclops.
time's up.
All right. She said time is up. Look at these answers. Look at these answers. You're making me proud. Ooh, Kwame and Nate, I want you guys to dig a little deeper on that answer for story number one. Samuel, that is an excellent answer for the first story. And I do want you to work on your second one. People have given me the answers on the first one, but now give me your answer for the second one. Did you guys think that whole 5 minutes were all is about the first one? It wasn't. It was about both stories.
I was finished with my first one, but I was still working on my second one.
Okay, well, please share your first one out loud if you don't mind.
Okay. P.T. Barnum opened a museum and hoping lots of crowds to come to his museum. Then he put up signs so people can follow the directions. Then his trick was a perfect success because his plan worked completely.
Okay, great job. Detailed, informative, and gave us the beginning, middle, and end. Okay, he summed it up. Okay, and that wasn't the only strong answer either. While Samuel is working on his second one, I'm going to read his answer that he sent in to the egress. First of all, let me just highlight this. He mentioned the name of the story. Okay. And so when you're doing your written responses, whether short or extended, again, you want to write in a way that the person who's scoring your exam or the person who's reading it, right, they have never read the story before. So you need to write with that level of clarity. Okay. So give me what the name of the story is and then tell me what it's about. And so he did that. So To the Egress is about Mr. Noble. He put the name was, you got a typo there, Samuel, but we're going to roll with it. Wanting more crowds because it gets him more money and he didn't want people lingering around. So he made an exit door called the Egress. Most people thought they were going to see something strange, but they saw the street. They were just on its oh wait, maybe, am I saying this wrong? They saw the street and they were just on its way out. Turns out that the egress means the way out. Okay, so you want to clean up that little exit part there, Samuel. But that was still a great answer because we're looking at the name of the title, what happened in the story, and that the whole point of the people being tricked and really being put out. And then let me see. Zoe put Barnum wanted more crowds to come to his museum because he hung up a sign to make people think there was another exhibit, but it actually led to the street, so people would have to re-enter and repay. A great synopsis. Again, my friends, please work on grammar and stuff of that situation. Okay. I see Kwame and Nate trying to clean it up. You want to put it all together, though. All together. Let me start seeing some of the answers about the Cyclops. You guys did good for the To the Egress. Now let's write about the story, the Cyclops. Drop those answers into the chat box. Or if there's anybody who want to share their answer out loud to speed up time.
On the last sentence of To the Cyclops.
Okay. Hugh, do you have yours all together?
I'm still working on it, but I'm almost done.
All right, you guys, we're going to give you another 1 minute. Miss A, let's just get 1 minute on the clock. Get the answers together. You can say them out loud for the sake of time because we have one thing left to do?
1 minute on the clock. It starts now. There you go.
Those of you who are still live with us on YouTube or Facebook, how's it going? I hope that you are able to summarize both stories, and putting a great summary together is going to give us a topic sentence, then a sentence about what happens in the beginning, what happens in the middle, what happens at the end, and then a conclusion sentence that wraps it all together. Like, what is the point of this? What do we learn from this? What was the author's point of this? Those are always great ways to end, based on the question, of course.
So time is up.
Okay, so who is ready to share? Don't all volunteer at once. Samuel, you ready?
No, the last word.
Come on, let's go, let's go.
Last word I say.
That should only take you 2 seconds to put. How about everybody else? Come on, Zoom room. Go ahead and read your answer out loud.
I'm done.
I know, read it out loud.
Cyclops is about Exnon and his little sister Agron. I actually don't know what her name is.
It's okay, okay.
Going to a museum and meeting Cyclops, a person who has one eye. So Exnon has doubt that Cyclops is Leo and says, "You know, everything you hear or see is not real. They could be lying and making something up." Then Agron says that her friend Raiden has seen Cyclops before, and he is real. Then they go to the museum and wonder what it's like having one eye and seeing the disabilities of having one eye. Then I figure out that she has 4 eyes, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. And after that, Exnon sees Raiden and tells her to look behind her, and she finds Raiden.
All right. Thank you for your recap. You could have left out that you figured out how many eyes that she had, because that's not part of the summary. And so we want to stay focused to the question and the answer. No opinions on this, or no aha moments in this, in your responses, that is. Okay? All right. Next, who else? Quickly. Go ahead. Hugh.
Xenon and Argon hurried to the museum so they could see a Cyclops. Then they meet up with their friend Raydon and claims that he has seen a Cyclops before. When Xenon and Argon viewed the Cyclops, they were speechless and never had seen a bizarre and particular creature before.
Okay. I just sent you all a message in the chat box. Make sure you read that. Make sure you think about that. Make sure you apply that. All right. Kwame or Nate? Okay.
The Cyclops. It's about a brother and sister named Xenon and Argon to go see a real Cyclops at a museum before it closes. Once they got there, they went to make a friend, Radon, to so they could see the museum, the Cyclops within. And when they got there, they all found it very interesting.
Okay. So started off great, but we want to fine tune towards that ending. So that's why I'm leaving you guys these messages inside the chat box. We want it to be clear, right? So yes, Xenon and Argon, they go to the museum. They want to see the Cyclops. They want to know if it's real or if it's fake. They also don't understand how anything could just see with one eye or no eye behind their head. And then they come across their friend, Radon, also at this museum. And they're all intrigued by what they're seeing. Boom, done. All right. So always, always, always thank you for including the name of the story. And that's what everyone needs to do. On these type of questions, you want to recap the reader. The name of the story is To the Cyclops. And to the Cyclops, blah, 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 blah. These things happen, right? And whatever else that they may ask you in those questions. But good job to everyone overall. I'm loving that you guys are pulling it together. Oh, here comes Zoe. In the story To the Cyclops, Xenon and his little sister Argon were going to the museum to see the Cyclops exhibit. Argon's best friend Radon already saw it and wanted to see it again. Xenon and Argon finally got to the exhibit and found the Cyclops. They were amazed. They thought it was weird, but they were still amazed. Great answer. Great answer. And so we want to complete sentences are complete thoughts. Give us the full thought. What occurred? What happened? How did it happen? Who was there when it happened? Good job, people. I'm still very proud of everybody. And so here's our last part. You guys are going to answer a few questions. Why do you think people like seeing strange exhibits? Would an exhibit that is strange to one person necessarily be strange to another person? Do you think people pay to see exhibits even if they think they might be fake? And would a museum exhibit be as interesting to you if you know for sure that it was a fake? So these are loaded questions, right? I'm going to leave this up here. I'm going to reread them, and then we're going to watch a quick 5 exhibits because I don't know, just in case people haven't been to a museum in a long time, which, due to our current world status here, I know some things have been slowly opening. But just to recap, we'll look at something and you guys can kind of base it off of that. And these exhibits that I'm going to show you are pretty cool, which is why I'm still having it shown and not just closing out. Why do you think that people like seeing strange exhibits? Would an exhibit that is strange to one person necessarily be strange to another person? Do you think people pay to see exhibits even if they think they might be fake? And would a museum exhibit be as interesting to you if you knew for sure that it was a fake? Before you start answering those questions, let's get into this quick. And I'm not going to play the whole thing.
Because these art exhibits are trippy. Today's video is on 5 trippy motion art exhibits.
Number 5. This is called a kinetic sculpture. It's designed to be in constant motion. It sort of looks like a fourth-dimensional portal or an alien artifact. Number 4. What you're looking at here doesn't look real, but I promise you it is. It was created by a studio called Poetic Kinetics. They used thousands of strands of ultra-lightweight fiber material to give the appearance of an otherworldly flying creature. Here's another installation they did with multicolored fibers. Number 3. So this might make your eyes go a bit weird. A professional woodworker and artist creates a really trippy piece of motion art. Number 2. This piece has a similar concept as the previous one. Artist Henry Wiefelhofer shows us a motion art piece created entirely from 3D printed parts. And finally, number 1. Theo Jansen is an architectural artist who is well known for his kinetic beat structures. They are designed to convert wind energy into forward motion, giving the appearance of an animal walking. Theo Jansen has made several of these kinetic sculptures over the years, each one having its own unique motion and design.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it there because these are definitely some interesting art pieces, I will say. Um, and I just wanted you guys to kind of see that, to kind of get different art structures and exhibits in your mind before we go through these last set of questions. And then we're gonna head out and close out. Let me see if I can get out of that. Okay, I can.
Prepare your eyes because these art exhibits.
So we're gonna go back, and so we can actually talk about it, or you guys feel like writing is either up to you. Why do you guys think people like seeing strange exhibits? Anyone can answer. I think let's talk it out.
I would like to answer.
Sure.
So I think people like seeing strange exhibits because it's unique and it like catches on to them. Like they're very interested in like seeing what it does.
I think so too. I would agree. Anybody else want to add to that or share what they think? Why do you think people like seeing strange exhibits? Thank you, Hugh. Anybody else? You could just open your mic.
It can be people like seeing strange exhibits because it's something weird and it's not the same old thing or the same old process they always see.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. I think so too. All right. Would an exhibit that is strange to one person necessarily be strange to another person? What do you guys think? Those of you streaming, watching through YouTube or Facebook, what do you guys think?
No.
No? Can you explain a little more?
Something that's strange to one person won't be strange to another person because everybody is different.
Okay. Anybody else want to add to that? Go ahead, just speak. Your mics are open.
Somebody may think that one thing is cool and unique, but the other person thinks that it's super weird.
Okay, that's true. Right? There's some things that I like that you guys might not like, and there's some things that you guys might like that I don't like, and that's totally fine. Right? All right. Thank you. Do you think people pay to see exhibits even if they think they might be fake? What do you guys think?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe no, because they might not know like what it is like straight off the top. Like they can maybe think it's fake, but like this probably happens sometimes. Like the more they look into it, the more they like, and the more information they get about that creature, they more than might think like it did exist, but like not in this like timeline right now.
Okay. What about, okay, have any of you ever been to like the wax museums?
I think I've been to one, but I'm not sure.
I mean, whatever we see in made in wax is not real, right? That's classified as fake to an extent. It's real because it's wax, it's real wax, but it's fake because it's not the person or the creature that it's supposed to be. All right, case in point, some of the dinosaur bones. Anyone's ever been to a museum that actually showed dinosaur bones, or to our natural history museum here in New York City?
Yeah, me.
And what was your take on it? Was everything in there real?
No.
Did you still enjoy yourself?
Yes.
Did your parents pay? Or was it on a field trip? Either way.
It was a field trip.
Did you have to pay?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Just thinking about it. Last question. Would a museum exhibit be as interesting to you if you knew, or rather if you knew for sure that it was fake? Would a museum exhibit be as interesting to you if you knew for sure that it was a fake?
No.
No?
No.
Why?
Because I want to see something that's real, not fake.
Okay.
In my opinion, yes. Because they could be showing you something really cool, like something that you wouldn't be able to see every day, but you can't have it in the place because it's too dangerous or too big, like a whale was in the museum that I went to.
Oh.
They,
Was it mechanical or not?
no, but you could see all the features of the whale.
Okay. Anybody else? I will say we went to a few years ago, all of the Reading for Small Kids. We had went to Jersey to the dinosaur park. I can't remember the actual name of it, but it was, in my opinion, it was really cool to see all of the dinosaurs there. Definitely mechanical. They were roaring and some of them moving around. It was kind of, weird to see, but it was definitely cool because it gave us an idea to the size of these dinosaurs and what they could look like even up close, being re-imaged for that park. So, I thought it was interesting. Anybody else before we close out? Kwame, Nate? Your mic is open. Can you speak up? We can't hear.
Me and Nate went to a museum with cool stuff.
Were things real or fake at that museum?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Things that were based on real things.
They were what? Can you please speak louder to the computer?
They were fake.
They were fake,
Yes, but they were based on real stuff.
but it was based on real stuff. Can you give me an example? What was it that you saw? Give me just one thing. I don't need a list, but
There was animals.
okay. So you were able to learn about the animals, and the animals were fake. Were they moving animals or were they still?
They were still.
They were still. Okay. Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
All right. So would a museum exhibit be interesting to you if you knew that it was fake?
It depends on what's in there.
I can't hear you anymore.
It depends on what's in there.
It depends on what's in there. Okay. Okay. You guys just saw a quick snapshot of 5 interesting art exhibits. What do you guys think about the ones that we saw?
Cool.
They were what?
They were cool.
They were cool. Anybody else?
They were cool.
They were cool. Go ahead. Go ahead, Zoe.
They were cool, especially the last one they showed, how it's able to move on its own.
Yeah, that was cool and scary all at the same time, because I'm pretty sure if I was sitting on the beach and I saw that, I'd be like, what is that? As either Kwame or Nate had put inside the chat box, which I thought was hilarious. But it was literally walking art empowered by wind. And so to even think of that concept, you have to have precise math skills on how to build. That's engineering, you guys. Or to see the first one with the art like blowing in the air of the wind, whatever tiny particles they said they used. Totally cool, totally fathomable, but that is definitely great art, but using science and mathematics to make it happen. All right, you guys, awesome. Good job, everyone. I know the state exams are this week, so I just want to tell everyone best wishes. Really, really, really take your time, look at things, reread these passages, look at these multiple choice questions. With multiple choice, there's definitely always one that is always a no, right? Or 2 that's always a no. Read carefully. Don't speed read. So many of my friends speed read and they just quickly answer. Think it through. And if you do suppose have any short responses coming up these few days, which I don't think you will, but if you do, take your time answering. Think about your grammar, think about your punctuation, make sure it's a complete thought, a complete sentence. And anything other than that, if you have to write an essay going forward after these exams for your regular classwork, write clear. Show the teacher or the person who's reading your work that you know what you're talking about, that you understood the story, that you understood what the author was trying to say, that you understood the characters. Okay? These are the things that matter. So I definitely want to wish everyone so much success. I believe in you guys. I know you guys can do it. All of you are brilliant, but just take your time, read it thoroughly, and answer with clarity. On that note, everyone, have an amazing night.